everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today I'm going to be doing my spoiler review of The Night House, so I am actually spoiling the movie in this video. If you haven't seen it yet, don't watch this dang video. After you've seen it though, come on back and we can talk about this. Now before I get into all of it though, I'm gonna need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You get to see an extra review video every week, and you also get to listen to my podcast. Check that out by clicking on the link in the description below. Alrighty, now let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I'm Pennywise. Have you seen the clown?
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast!
You son of a...
God, don't do that.
But sometimes that is better.
I just want to reiterate, this is your last chance. If you don't want this movie to get spoiled for you, you can check out my spoiler-free review right here. Getting into this though, I feel like The Night House had a lot of really good things going for it. It had a lot of really cool scenes, some good jump scares. Overall, it didn't have the psychological terror I was really looking for in this film. I'm not gonna lie, the scene where she finds all the dead bodies of the girls that look like her underneath the other house, that was really interesting to me. I loved that. That was a great turning point. Did not see that coming. That was really horrifying. But I felt like the way that they went with it, that this paranormal demon was whispering in her husband's ear saying, "You should kill her," and then he tricked her with dead bodies, what would have been so much more terrifying and psychological, dark and all that, is if this guy wanted to kill his wife so bad, but he knew that was wrong, that he was going out every night and killing women that looked like her. That would have been so much better. That would have been a miles better twist. And then ended up actually killing himself because he couldn't take it. He had these urges to go out and kill his wife, but he couldn't do it because he knew it was messed up, so he went out into the middle of the lake and offed himself. I think that would have just been so much better. It would have been a much more realistic and horrifying idea. What ends up happening though, when you have this paranormal aspect and they're confirmed, it makes it almost like a crappy Conjuring spin-off. I mean, it's not bad, but I just feel like the whole ending of this movie ruined what could have been such a great, deep psychological thriller. And that's coming from the guy who likes the Conjuring movies, who likes the Insidious franchise. I love paranormal movies, but this movie wasn't set up in the same way as those films. You introduce this creepy villain thing, this creepy shadow villain right at the end of your movie. It's too late. It's too late to introduce a paranormal entity like that all the way at the end of your film. You gotta establish that earlier on. The twist comes from a single little soliloquy that Rebecca Hall's character is telling to Sarah Goldberg's character. I don't know, to me, that's so out of nowhere. She died for 3 minutes and then ended up cheating death. Oh my god, this movie is a Final Destination film in disguise. That's the twist of this movie. Final Destination 6, here we go. It's actually The Night House. Boom! Twist ending. Personally, I didn't care for that. It made this movie a Final Destination continuation, knockoff, whatever you want to call it, instead of this awesome A24-esque psychological horror thriller. I know a lot of people kind of have this same problem with Hereditary, but the reason Hereditary works is that there's multiple things going throughout that movie that would suggest a paranormal ending. She keeps having dreams that her husband is coming back, but with the reveal of the dead bodies underneath this other house in the middle of the woods, you're thinking, oh, this is you're trying to set up this whole paranormal thing, but actually it's something totally different. Hereditary sets up its crazy, explosive paranormal ending by layering all these different things underneath every single action of that movie. You knew it was gonna be paranormal at the ending, but you didn't know it was gonna be that intense. And that's what's so terrifying about it. That's why I love it. That last 15 minutes is one of the best outcomes of a slow burn I have ever seen in my life. This film also didn't have that intensity in its final scene. Sure, it was a little intense. I mean, the girl's in the middle of the lake about to off herself. That's scary. I mean, holy crap, that's a terrifying outcome. But is it scarier than Toni Collette banging her head against the attic door a million times this fast? No, nothing is scarier than that. I didn't say this in my spoiler-free review, but I felt like everybody gave a great performance in this movie. Rebecca Hall, Sarah Goldberg, Vondi Curtis Hall, whose last name is also Hall, which I find funny. I don't think they're related in any way, but I could be wrong. The Night House does have a lot of good things going for it, though. I think there's a lot of really creepy imagery, a lot of very Giallo-inspired stuff going throughout this. There's this shot where Rebecca Hall, I don't know if this is in a dream or what the hell's happening in the last 15 minutes of this movie. It gets a little confused, not gonna lie. She's like in the position of that statue where she's bent back like this and like her hands and legs are tied together, but they're not. I don't know, it's a really weird shot. It's really interesting though and creepy because there's this like red light going over it. It looks like she's in like a void or something. It's really creepy. I think it's like a dream sequence. I think that's really well done. That's some good imagery there for a horror film. This movie is beautifully shot in a really beautiful location as well. I think that it's got that going for it for sure. David Bruckner did a great job directing. I just feel like the concept itself is flawed. You have this like really interesting like drama crime thriller that you could have taken that direction, but instead you kind of just made it another Conjuring movie. Especially because of how reliant all the scares are on jump scares. That's another big thing. Hereditary does not rely on jump scares whatsoever. This film does. And that was a big problem for me. If you're gonna make a Conjuring film, make a Conjuring film. There's a lot of great movies that are like just very similar to that concept, where it's like it's some scary monster, but it's like a ghost or whatever running around a house and it disappears and there's jump scares, there's great characters. You slap that all into a movie, you got yourself another Conjuring film. That's great, that's fun, whatever. This film felt really confused. It wanted to be The Conjuring on one side and then it also wanted to be The Hereditary on the other side. Somewhere in the middle it also wanted to be a true crime thriller movie. I think if you clean this film up and you just do like another draft of that script, you have a great film here. You really do. These are the movies that upset me a lot, unfortunately, because like there's so much potential here for this movie to be great, but it just missed the mark. The film kind of just ends too, which I didn't care for. There's like this final scene where Rebecca Hall gets like, she's taken up on the dock, she's alive, she's fine, and then the boat kind of drifts out into the lake and you see like a dark figure sitting in the boat and they say, oh, it's nothing, referring to the note and like that there's nothing after you die and all that, whatever. I don't know. I felt like that was just, they had no idea how to end the movie and they're like, hey, let's just do this. One last creepy scene, cool. There's so much more that could have happened. Like another, like an epilogue or something. I definitely needed an epilogue for that movie. Maybe not a cheesy late 90s like, oh, the killer's back and jumps out on the couch or something. I did not need that. That's not what I'm talking about. We don't need a stinger scare at the end of this movie, not at all. But just something to kind of wrap this plot up, like explain what just happened a little bit. Is Rebecca Hall okay? Is she not okay? I want to know. With most horror movies, I feel like explaining too much is a negative. Like, for example, I don't love the Thorn trilogy of the Halloween movies. I feel like it explains, the whole concept of those movies is just trying to explain Michael Myers. Why? Why do we need to explain Michael Myers? Why can't he just be a dude that like constantly survives 6 bullets to the chest? And it also has a taste for human blood, wants to murder people. Like, why can't that just be a thing that exists? It's more scary if it's mysterious, in my opinion. This movie, I don't think it's more scary that it's mysterious. I feel like you had a lot of really good jumbled ideas and you just crammed them together and it's very obvious in this film. So you need to do a little more explaining in that case. Because if I don't even know what I'm watching, I'm not gonna be scared. If I kind of understand what's going on and like I could say, oh hey, this dude right here, he's kind of invincible. Why is that? Why does he want to kill people? Why does he think the way he does? That's making me ask questions. Good creative building questions. With this movie, I'm asking questions of what the hell's even going on? I don't understand. I have no reason to question why this demon is going after this girl. We already know that. He wants her to die. That's the kind of questions I want to be asking. The questions I'm asking after watching this movie are not positive questions. They're not constructive. You gotta go back and change everything. You gotta destroy what you've already made and redo it because I don't understand what the hell I'm watching. I'm not scared, I'm just confused. Although that rant sounded pretty negative, I think this movie still had a lot going for it. I think it could have been better, but it was very interesting. Like I said, 6 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10 if I'm being generous. I think David Bruckner is a great director too, by the way. He's gotta find a good script. He's gotta find a really good script that he can nail. Clearly from this movie and The Ritual on Netflix, also another film he directed, he's a great director. He knows what the hell he's doing. But with both of those films, I feel like the plots are flawed ever so slightly, and they're like a little bit jumbled with their ideas. What did you guys think about The Night House though? Leave me a comment down below about it. Thank you all so much for watching my spoiler review of The Night House. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Just look up KillJoy Jake and I'll come up. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description below. Thank you all again for watching, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.